There are certain combinations in gardening that quietly outperform expensive fertilizers, fancy soil conditioners, and store-bought amendments. Grass clippings and leaf mold are one of those pairs. Most gardeners treat them as simple yard waste, yet together, they can restore tired soil faster than almost anything else you can add. If you've ever dealt with soil that feels hard, lifeless, compacted, or simply low energy, this guide will walk you through exactly how to turn those two free materials into a true soil healing system. Let's get right into the method. Grass clippings and leaf mold complement each other in a way that perfectly balances the soil ecosystem. Grass clippings are nitrogen-rich, full of quick energy that microbes love. They heat up fast, break down quickly, and can kickstart biological activity in a tired bed almost immediately. The problem is that grass alone can get slimy and mat down if you're not careful. Leaf mold, on the other hand, is almost pure carbon. It breaks down slowly and is packed with fungal colonies, exactly what compacted soils are usually missing. Leaf mold improves structure, drainage, aeration, and long-term moisture regulation, but it doesn't provide much immediate nutrition on its own. When you combine the two, the nitrogen in the grass activates the breakdown of the leaf mold. The leaf mold provides structure so the grass doesn't mat down. Together, they create the exact ratio microbes need to multiply rapidly and restore the soil food web from the bottom up. This is why gardeners who use this combination consistently see better root systems, more earthworms, richer moisture retention, and faster recovery in dead or neglected beds. You don't need anything fancy, but handling the materials correctly makes all the difference. Fresh grass clippings should be used within 24 to 48 hours of mowing. If they sit too long in a pile, they can begin anaerobic fermentation, which creates a sour smell and disrupts the microbial balance. Leaf mold should be at least partially broken down, you know. You don't need perfect 2-year-old leaf mold for this. Even leaf mold that's halfway decomposed works extremely well. The key is that it must be moist, dark, and crumbly enough to break apart in your hands with just a bit of gentle pressure. A good working ratio for soil regeneration is 2 parts leaf mold to 1 part grass clippings if you're layering on the surface, but if you're mixing into the top few inches, aim for a more balanced 1-to-1 ratio. If your soil is compacted, crusty, or, struggling with water retention, the surface layer method is honestly the easiest and most effective approach. Start by spreading leaf mold directly across the soil surface in a layer about 2 to 3 inches deep. This layer acts like a sponge, pulling moisture down and, protecting the soil from being baked in the sun. Next, lay a 1-inch layer of grass clippings on top of the leaf mold. This should be thin enough that you can still see some of the leaf mold beneath it. As the grass breaks down, it releases nitrogen downward into the leaf mold, which, really accelerates fungal activity and gets the whole layer cooking without overheating. Within a week, you'll notice the layer becoming darker, lighter, and just full of life. Earthworms will move up into it, and beetles will start breaking down the tougher leaf pieces. And underneath, the soil begins to soften naturally. If you're preparing a garden bed for planting, mixing grass clippings and leaf mold into the top 6 inches gives an even stronger result. Spread leaf mold across the bed in a 2-inch layer. Then sprinkle grass clippings over it in a 1-inch layer. Using a garden fork, gently blend the materials into the top layer of soil without turning deeply. The goal is to integrate them, not flip the entire soil profile. As soon as moisture hits this blend, whether rain or watering, the microbial activity spikes. Within 2 weeks, the soil feels lighter and easier to work. And then, within about a month, it begins to take on that rich, dark, crumbly texture gardeners call living soil. Grass clippings and leaf mold aren't a one-time fix. They're a cycle. After the first application, you want to keep adding a thin half-inch layer of each every few weeks during the growing season. This slow but steady feeding, well, it really mirrors how forest floors constantly renew themselves. If you garden year-round, it's best to use grass clippings during the warm months when the grass is really growing, and then switch to using just leaf mold in the winter. The soil builds more resilience with each season, and eventually, you'll find it holds water just right, drains beautifully, and honestly, hardly needs any extra fertilizers at all. When used consistently, this combination can bring even stubborn soil back to life. Gardeners often report that plants grow deeper roots, peppers and tomatoes start producing earlier, leafy greens stay tender longer, and raised beds stop drying out so quickly. Because leaf mold is fungal dominant and grass clippings are bacterial dominant, you create a balanced soil network that supports every type of crop. Most importantly, this approach eliminates the need for constant store-bought inputs. You're essentially mimicking the natural cycles that create fertile forest soil using materials you already have on hand. If this guide helps you build better soil, make sure you subscribe and share it with another gardener who wants to grow healthier, richer beds using simple, natural materials.